Peace, everyone. You're watching that 9 Keys. Start timer. 25-minute lesson. Let's go. Okay. So I have some decent notes. Let's see. Today we're going to learn the lesson of 19 keys. The mind of keys. Learn how to learn. Part 1. Right. So this was a great lesson. I wrote my notes. I did my review, and we're about to get into something amazing. Let's just ground, set an intention, and let's learn. We're here, family, tribe, revolution love experts and knowledgers. Welcome to the new me. Every day I'm new, so I can be whoever I want, right? That's just something to put out there. So intention for today is to explain this lesson, expand upon it, develop my teaching skills, my mastery of connection, my mastery of communication, my mastery of teaching, and it's just to learn, right? Me and you, and I just want to expand on 19 keys of lessons. You're kind of getting a sneak peek, which is nice, and I am giving 19 keys at a wider audience, so it all feels right. I'm going to start uploading these to YouTube, so welcome to the lesson system. I'm going to go through his whole course, and we're going to dive down. This is how I'm going to process each of his course and really get into my brain, because He's got something. He's got something. All right. So learning how to learn part 1, 19 keys, review, pen, activate. So let's go. So what you see, he breaks this into that that as we age, right? So as we're 20, we learn in this specific type of way that we're used to. And then at the age of 25, right, we know about our body functions. They kind of change. We stop puberty, and we're just kind of at this higher level. Maybe a higher wisdom comes in. We just act differently. We're more mature. We need to really level up our focus and drive to build, right? Build foundation. We become very much a man or a woman, a very strong, stable human, right? And so he says after 25, the way you learn also changes, right? It's not that just your brain you don't learn as well. No, you don't learn as well in that way that you were learning, right? So he says that after 25, the way you learn changes, right? So he said this kind of sets the tone, right? He says we don't change, we change, we don't decline. You can see it as decline when you're 9 years old, or you can see it as absolute morphing to a higher source, a higher power, a higher consciousness, or a different consciousness, an altered something. I don't know about the higher, I'm still figuring that out, right? So he focuses on this. There's 2 types of thinking. And this lesson, I have many notes on the same thing. It's repetitive, right? But practice makes perfect, right? Repetition makes perfect. So let's repeat. So he goes 2 types of thinking. 1 is focused thinking. So the concentration of a passion, the concentration of energy into a single focal point. He uses this analogy of a flashlight. When you tune it down to the very, very light source, right? The power, you can see things in minute detail, right? You could scan things. You can enter and break through and be like, whoa, what's that? And you work on things, right? But maybe you want to go outside and get the whole bigger picture, right? You want to get more of your environment and see where you're going, right? This, where you're going, is called diffuse thinking, right? But let's focus on focused thinking. So focusing is an A-track mind. I don't know if I wrote that right, but it's power and focus. It's all your power, all your focus on this new thing. You're developing a new foundation, a new pillar. Let's say this is the analogy of a new pillar in your brain, in your logic brain. So this means that you're concentrated, you're deeply learning, and you're building foundation, focused learning. So let's say when you're watching a movie, you're kind of very focused. It's the same energy pull. When you're in class, it depends on, your participation, but you're very focused, right? When you're doing a study practice test, you're really focused, right? Your energy's here. You don't want to think about anything else. Not too much, right? These are kind of not great, but first we focus, right? First we focus on absorbing, right? So the absorbing concept will come later. And then when we're all done with this 25 minutes using the Pomodoro timer to focus, we're like, what the fuck did we just learn? Like, what? I don't get that. It doesn't make sense, right? So how do we have this knowledge that doesn't make sense, but we're still carrying it in our brain? And that's when diffuse thinking comes in. So diffuse thinking is a larger web. So we have this pillar. Diffuse thinking is like, brain, swink. Now we have this. We're connected to this one. We're connected to this one. Our new pillar, our foundation, our focused learning is coming into focus to connect dots. Yep.
Are we going straight to farmer's market after?
Yeah.
Cool.
Cheeky. So more broad, allowing for so diffuse thinking is more broad, allowing for connections, wider connections to be made from old patterns, from habits, from things recognized that you've learned before, right? So these are necessary. So what means is neural networks are so this was saying diffuse thinking isn't neural networks are not used to a new subject. Let me see. Neural used disease. I'm just asking my ChatGPT, which has a summary of the video, to ask questions of the video that I'm just a little bit concerning. Okay, so I was just looking at this thing. So diffuse thinking, right? We have neural networks. So when we're focused learning, we have these pre-existed neural networks in our brain, right? That's kind of our connections, our diffused brain, our diffused knowledge source. And when we're doing focused learning, we don't have these strong neural connections to this new... Damn it. Okay. We don't have these strong connections to this new foundation, this new pillar of focus, of a word, of concepts that we've never learned before. We don't have any neural networks. So we need to use diffuse thinking to create neural connections from old networks, right? So this is our logic brain in motion, and just our attainment of knowledge. We need to use old patterns. I don't know if I like to make it so structured, but that's just me. So neural networks are not used to make a new subject. They're used to connect existing subjects to the new subjects. So that's diffuse thinking. I'm making this confusing, but no, I'm not. So when there's something new, there's no neural networks. That's why we use diffuse thinking. And how you utilize diffuse thinking is you take a block. After 25 minutes of focus, you take a 5-minute walk. You take a 5-minute push-up challenge. Take a 5-minute handstand practice, which is what I'm doing at the moment. You distract your brain, and you allow that brain to create subconscious neural networks, subconscious connections to this new foundation, because the brain doesn't want to have this new floating thing. No, the brain does not want this floating thing, and it wants to connect immediately, and the brain will do that automatically. Right? It's always making connection, just like the subconscious is always making connection. It is. The subconscious is always, because it needs to, it's survival, right? It needs to understand. If it doesn't understand, it's scared. So trust. The subconscious will connect to these new concepts. Just give it time. That's why after I taking a break for 2 weeks from exercise and stopping handstand and yoga, and my balance is very good. My handstand approach is different. I don't know why. I stopped practicing for a bit, but I'm less scared. I know the form better, and I'm stronger for some reason, even though I haven't worked out. Or my muscles are working more effectively, more smartly. Goddamn. Whew. Let's go, baby. Hello. We're 10 minutes in. Lego. Okay. If we're 10 minutes in, then I'm chilling. Okay. So you must learn new parts. You must learn new patterns. And then create new connections. Right? So that's the focus and diffuse. Okay, let's just dive into this so I understand. So we can understand. So, all right, this is a weird lesson. All right, diffuse thinking. For example, stop the video. He says, look up a part of a new subject that you don't understand. Oh, that's an interesting connection. You're saying that dogs, they poop on a different cycle than us. And they digest food differently. That's just like my auntie. So I'm making this auntie connection to the dogs. So my approach here is like, if you want to know what to look up when you're studying a new subject like crypto, look up something that you're curious and that is completely new to your brain, that you don't understand. Look that up. If you're really struggling to subconsciously create these connections, you come back and you're like, I don't get it, right? You go up blockchain, and what comes from that is you might find on the internet, whoa, I might recognize blocks, and I recognize a chain. Okay, and then you take that little search, you take a break, come back, right? You focus again, you watch the same video, you watch the same thing, you read the same thing, boom, you understand what it means. Because you're using those neural networks pre-existing to connect to a new concept. So look up a part of the subject, making broader connections, to connect back to the subject by linking known neural networks and forming new ones to this new foundation, right? That's what your brain wants. The logic brain is in full effect, in full force. You are manipulating creation in your brain through this approach to learning. Relax to learn, to access long-term things. So take breaks. Relax tension for allowing that subconscious. If you're so strained on something, you're going to be stuck on it. So it says, when struggling with a pattern, the more we relax, easier our brains will work it out. All right? Take breaks. Relax between tension. Do activities in between, distract yourself, your mind. This is diffuse thinking. The brain will make connecting while it is distracted, right? So the brain will make connections while distracted. Who you are, who are you? And it finds out on the subconscious. So the brain is saying, who are you, new thing? And it finds it at this subconscious. It wants to know what this new is. So the Pomodoro technique is something I use, 25 minutes on, 5 minutes break. And I go for exercise, practice my handstands, right? And so I'm distracting my brain, allowing for this diffuse thinking, right? So I did that after I took my initial notes, took a break. I wrote my review. I took a break. Well, I didn't actually. I wrote my review right after the video. After I wrote my review before teaching, I took a break. I'm distracted. Now I'm actually, I don't know how I'm feeling about it, but I trust 19 keys blindly. No. Relax. So take breaks, do activities in between. The brain will make connecting. Now you come back and you have a new connection. So you dive deeper. You learn, right? Let's just finish this up. 10 minutes left. Okay, 25-minute lesson. Focused thinking. The brain processes specific information deeply, right? Focused. Diffuse thinking, the brain analyzes more information at once. It takes in a broader sense. And that's how it knows the concept, creates a concept of what's really happening. It's less in depth. So think, do you want big picture right now? Quick searches, diffuse, get the concepts, learn, attack. You can do active diffuse, why not? You can do active diffuse. Ooh. That might help you go on the search tangent. It might help you get the specific detail that you were trying to master. And once you get that specific detail, oh shit, you used the diffuse concept to understand blockchain. Now you're coming back to crypto, investing, Bitcoin. And you're like, okay. And you hear this dude say blockchain. Oh yeah, blockchain. You're on this new word, so you're focusing. Oh, I don't know that. Diffuse thinking. Let's make connection. Oh wow. Know these word banks. Now you know these word banks. Once you know these word banks, holy crap, you understand the language of what's going on. Now you're able to focus, you're learning, you're creating new neural networks to the subject from pre-existing things. It's amazing, actually. So focus is for deep dives, right? You want details, you need to focus, you need to sit down, put all your energy into this thing, deep dive. And you use diffuse thinking to see what just happened, right? But you need both. You can't just use diffuse thinking to see what just happened. You're not going to create anything new. So learn the language of what you're studying that comes in. So focused, diffused, you will understand subject faster. So learn the language of what you're studying, using, focusing, and then diffusing. Active, take breaks. You will slowly learn the language. Once you learn the language, the subject, oh my God, it's a breeze. Right? Learn the root word of options. So option tree, I'm not on that yet, but we'll get there. And that fuse is the larger connection to what options could be. So what is an option? It's like a different option, right? You search up the root word. Oh, I know what those root words mean. Okay, so I get the concept a little bit. So how does it intertwine with trading and making money? And you're like, oh, so if I have options, okay. So put into concept of what you already know, allowing you to decipher what is this new is. So through learning, it's language like a culture. Through learning language, it's like you're learning a new culture. The best way to learn a new culture is to tap into the language. Context. Diffused is the larger picture. Specifics. Focused is so you have when you're focusing, you're kind of creating this floating pillar in your brain. And I call these floating words, and they're embedded now once you focus. And to catch them and wrap them into your mind is diffused. Right, these subconscious layers. So that's what's always happening here. Alternate between the two. So he goes into this really great just breakdown. So he says, which I like this type of stuff, is dive in, focus, understand basic concepts, to understand basic topic. Boom, new. Something you barely understand, absorb it. Just get it in your brain. Doesn't matter if you really know it or not. Diffuse, internalize, make connections. Take a break. Do research. Yeah, very soon. Okay, cool. Thank you. Take a break and implement research, independent research. Boom. Focus, pair connections. Come back. Now you have this independent research. You can focus deeper. You can get through the concept, through the topic. By having these diffused breaks, you're really embedding it into your brain. It's actually living it. And then repeat this process. Constantly repeat. Focus, research, learn. Take a break, come back, focus, make new connections, learn deeper, understand, finish, repeating. So I'm focusing now. My approach was I focused on the video. I wrote notes, I focused. I didn't really know what I was saying. If I liked it, if it wrote out to me, if I wanted to, I wrote it down. I was like, made sense of it. I made sense of it. I used some of my analytical skills and I developed it. Now I want to take a break. I come back, I write notes. Okay, so what did I just learn? Oh, yes. Okay, yeah, that makes sense to me, right? Diffuse thinking. Oh, I learned this before. I know that metaphor, that philosophy, that the way water moves. It's like this. The way water flows over a rock, it's like, whoa, it's like the surface, and then it's smooth. Shit. Now I'm making these connections, right? I'm adding to the layer of this focus, of this whole thing. I focused on the video. I absorbed it. I need to review it. I diffused myself. Now I took another break. I diffused all of that. And I come back to teach it, and I learn it in a new pattern in the ways that I know, right? So now I know what focused, and I know what diffused, and I know how to utilize it in my day-to-day. So now when I approach a video, I focus completely on it. I make my notes. I take a break. I come back. I write my notes. I diffuse. I research maybe if I don't understand something. I come back, and now I'm going to research. Now I know I want to start writing things down that I don't understand so I can research it in my review time, and then I can teach better, connect better. Einstein effect blocks creativity when using habitual patterns thinking. So this is kind of about the over diffuse thinking. So you can't rely directly on diffuse. You must learn new patterns, new to grow, to achieve, to solve things. You must have these new pillars that are new, so you can create these new neural networks that flow differently. They are equally important. You must focus on detail. You need to make broader connections. To suck new patterns, to explore, you must have your techniques. To guide new patterns, you must explore. So focused is absorbing, and diffuse is exploring. Right. Lastly, diffuse, to distract your mind, you allow it to make new connections, subconscious effort. Sleep is key, he says. The brain is cleaned, and it allows you to just learn better. And don't eat before 10. Don't eat before bedtime. Eat 3 hours before bedtime, so your brain can focus on your mind, not your digestive system. That's something that helps the brain. Right, that just helps learning. Learn something new to become new. He goes on to a new habit. That's new. That's a new you. Right, so learn something new allows you to become a new version of you. A new neural network appears, and you're just a bit different. Right. So each level you are becoming. So each level, each age, becoming a new. You're just becoming new. You're not declining. You're actually elevating. If you're on that course, right? Or you're changing. And each age you learn differently. So you operate differently, you create differently, you absorb it, not worse, just a new age. So these come in, you have new patterns now, you have new wisdom, you have new emotions, always setting a new age, you have new importance, new priorities, new ways, new empowerment, new ways of feeling, of affecting. And then that's just new, and it's amazing, and it's different. Right? What is my process to get over things? I don't know. I wrote this down. To get over things, I observe first. I notice how I feel. I take time. I ride my emotional waves. I patiently wait for clarity. Once I wait for clarity to decide my next move, and I make a decision, an action. Right? Recently, I just quit the empathy center because I've waited for clarity. I thought about it. I was like, I can't do this. It was hard. I still knew it. I didn't know it. This may be slow, but it makes me smooth. And smooth is how I roll. Right? And when I'm smooth, I'm fast. This is difficult. I'm learning. So the law of practice, we become good at whatever we practice. So practice teaching. I'm practicing explaining. Practicing mastering communication skills. I'm mastering me in front of the video, right? It's all these different things I want to master, right? So diffuse plus focus, what am I practicing right now? Crypto is blockchain. So when I was learning about blockchain, I imagined blocks. And in these blocks, there's little codes, and that's a Bitcoin, one spot. That's the time date, the code, the unique code. It gets filled. Oh, it's filled. Next chain connects. It's dragging it. A constant train, right? And this train is going, and these blocks are added to the new cargo to the train, and that's infinity. That's blockchain. Diffuse helps the why, right? I noticed that the purpose, the intention, the focus is new. And let's own this. Right? So. Woo! Yeah! Woo, woo, woo. Key takeaways: new conscious approach to learning. I understand why things work at what is necessary of what to learn. And now my lessons and my learning has more guide, more in purpose. I've made the new connection. I've learned how to learn. Thank you, Nike Keys. I've learned how to learn. This is Dave. Davey teaches. This is fun. I'm enjoying this process. I think I'm really helping me understand something, make me feel good to do this. Thank you.